Alrighty, let's go for it. Greetings, Gemini. This is Tarot Lumination with your June 2018 mini love and relationship generic report. Okay, so you know the drill. If you've been here before, watch for your sun, moon, and rising if they're all different, and then squish the whole story together and reinterpret to suit you. Also, you know, some people they do the cross watching for their significant others. It's okay. It's not cheating. It's highly recommended. Oh, let's see. We're going to use the crucible spread, okay, where there's you, a significant other, and the relationship itself, on the understanding that the relationship is a third entity, that it has its own energy and structure and purpose and meaning and identity, which has to be acknowledged. And in a loving, healthy relationship, both parties create a crucible. They create a structure called a relationship through which they conduct themselves, as opposed to just one-on-one, face-to-face. Now, for singles, I know some of you have written in that you'd like to see how this works for singles. Well, you can do that if you want, but you have to allow for the laws of attraction, specifically understanding that you're radiating the energy and that the universe is out here responding. So this would be like, what if? What would you get as if the universe was responding? Okay, so it's the same reading, but it's much more of a what if perspective. I'm going to give you some notes about the astrology in a minute, because I've done it for all the other signs, so I got to keep going now. I can't stop. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. You've probably heard that before. I'm going to get on with it in just a second. Cards were well shuffled in advance, but I want to go to the last second so that you are a witness. Okay, so give me a moment. These are my own personal notes, very, very scrappy little notes, just for a quick reference for the month ahead. And before I get into it, I know, Gemini, this is your season. Sun in Gemini. Okay, whoopee wahoo. But the thing is, there's a lot of subcurrents and undercurrents and riptides going on here with the planets right now through the month. There's a little, I'll just go through them, and then you can figure out what you want to do with this information yourself. May 30th, June 2nd and 1st, we're starting off with a big grand water trine. Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, very harmonious, luscious energy for everybody. And it moves into a grand kite with the Cancer Capricorn axis, making it even more luscious for us to come into greater awareness in some way, in some part of our lives. Wherever the Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio dynamics live in your chart. So take full advantage of that. Next, there is a Gemini Pisces hard square at a certain point. Let's just keep moving. June 10th, okay? June 14th, June 15th, 21st, and 23rd, and all the way up to the 29th. There are lots of T-squares, especially concerning Aquarius and Leo. Here with Taurus, over here Aquarius and Leo with Scorpio, and in the middle we have some Cancer Capricorn oppositions, okay, and squares with the Chiron and Aries. So these are like currents underneath currents, and they're very challenging. Some of these are very, very stressful, very, very challenging. Now again, they don't hit you directly, but the currents are there nevertheless. So be very aware, okay, Gemini. The planets are all spread out in such a way that they're all over the solar system, so it makes it very easy for them to be mostly how they are in their own natural way, instead of really tight clusters like we had in March and early May. So just a word of caution here. Be very careful. There's so many little places where it would be easy to get tripped up. So just be very cautious, okay? And at the end of the month, everything flips into Cancer energy anyway. But it's still a lot of riptides under the surface. Okay, I'm just using analogies with oceans and waves and surfing, okay? Okay, here we go. Let's go to the last second so that you're a witness. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals, none of that. So I hope you're doing well, Gemini. Please bring your angels in with you to the reading. We're going to bless the deck, bless the reading, bless you, the viewer. Okay? Tarot Illumination brings in uh, angels as well. Okay, so it's a big shared event. Okay, here we go. All right, cards are cut. This would be your energy that you'd be radiating, kind of like a cell phone. Over here would be the energy of a significant other, just the same way. Bing, 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 bing. Pinging. They call it pinging. All right, over here, deep in the heart and soul of you, Gemini, deep in the heart and the soul of the significant other, and here at the core, the relationship itself. This is the crucible, okay? This is the structure in which the relationship is conducted in a loving relationship. This is deeply vested, and this is cherished and nurtured by both parties for the benefit of themselves and for each other. It is a shared, chosen, deliberate relationship. What can I do for you? Oh, I was going to ask you, what can I do for you? Let's have a look. Over here, prospects and momentum. Over here, circumstantial energy. Remember, this is out here for you. This is your reading. It's not a couple's reading. We're just including their energy to balance out the reading, all right? So we have the Eight of Wands. So you might feel really charged up, and I think that's basically simply because the sun is in Gemini, so it's your time. It makes perfect sense for you to feel all lit up and ready to go, and wanting to, like, almost like have it all. You know, with the Eight of Wands, there's so much desire to express, to be understood, to literally to bring your energy into full expression. And let's just say this is good weather. You know, despite the riptides and the undercurrents here that we mentioned, the Leo Aquarius axis is actually very supportive for you. Okay, so let's just put that on record. It's quite strong right now. Mars is in Aquarius here. That's very supportive for you. And even though it's in challenge with other planets, let's just say that's very good. I'm just going to add this for spice, all right? So that's what I'm thinking here, is that you're being very harmoniously lit up by external circumstances. But this is very much on the surface. I'm feeling deep down inside, we still have to allow for undercurrents and riptides. So be very, very careful. What are you radiating? Okay. Well, this to me almost feels like with all the wands over here and all the wands over here, that there's a lot of, let's say, passionate, fiery expression that's almost to the point where it's frothy. It's almost like too much. You know how surf waves in oceans get a little bit too frothy, where it actually becomes hazardous? It isn't so cute anymore. It looks pretty and everything, but it can be treacherous. So that puts you in a position where it's like there's that mixture of excitement and wanting to go for it, and at the same time being very aware that things can be very treacherous right now, and hazardous, and such that let's say the currents and the flows are so strong that it could be, you almost feel as though it's working against you. Even though it's very harmonious, my feeling is with the riptides, in terms of relationships, how you're conducting and radiating yourself as an energy, is showing here as someone who's literally just trying to maintain their stability. It's like someone who really wants to go big wave, deep water surfing, but they don't quite have the skill levels, but they're so excited and they feel confident enough that they want to do it. And then they realize they might be in pretty deep, and it might be quite a ride, and they might be under a lot of pressure just to get through alive. Okay? Sorry, I over dramatized things there a little bit. I get very visual. I get very, very strong visual impressions of things. Forgive me. Okay, let's have a look at the significant other. Okay, with the Queen of Wands here, again, we've got a lot of Wands energy coming up. You might have a champion who's literally like, they're like, you know, just go for it, Gemini. It's just like, you know what, you're awesome. You can handle it. I'm there for you. I'm highly talented. I'm highly gifted myself. I am your cheerleader right now. I think you're awesome and wonderful. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I recognize that, because I'm like this myself. I too am awesome and wonderful. And I'm glad to be relating with someone who's also got a lot of fire inside them too. Well done. Well done. Keep going. It's almost like, I don't know if I can handle this. I might have got in too deep. Oh no, oh no, oh no. But this is very solid, steady energy here too. I mean, they wouldn't be radiating this energy. Forget the genders here. There's a guy, there's a girl. It could be whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm just going with the energy. It looks like the significant other over here is quite happy with the way things are, and they're enjoying things, and they're happy to like be at your side, sharing in almost like the excitement of this. It's almost like going to a surf competition, and they're there for you, cheering you on, and you're right up to the brink of your abilities. Seriously, like you could crash out at any moment, but they're still there. You can handle it. You can do this. And it's just like, whew, I hope you still love me after this. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. I don't know if I can handle it, but I am all fired up. Seriously, I'm not just doing this to impress you. I'm doing a lot of this for myself because I always wanted to do it. I know. It's okay. I understand. Go for it. I'm here. So that's kind of how I'm feeling this, all right? Let's have a look deep inside of you, Gemini. Okay, well, with the Six of Pentacles here, my feeling is that you might be acting in such ways where you're all fired up and want to express yourself and kind of charge forward and live almost as if you were an athlete, a high achiever type of athlete. But the actual deep soul purpose of this is to try and actually get grounded, try and actually get things back into stability where the ebb and the flow, the give and the take between a relationship is more healthy and more normal. Because there's a lot of froth here. It's like that energy of, opening a soda can that got shaken around too much. And yeah, sure, it's exciting at parties when you like shake things up and you spray them at people. Whoopee wahoo! But it's sure is a waste of good beer. So, excuse me. So my feeling here is deep down, deep in the soul of you, what you're actually seeking is harmony and balance and stability. And without saying it out loud, it's almost like you're desperate for it. You know how Geminis, you can get very cerebral and caught up in the moment and the activities and everything. And then it's just like, well, what was I saying? What was I doing? Where was I supposed to be going? And the sense of ballast, the sense of stability and order becomes jeopardized. So deep down, it feels to me like what you want is to get to a position where you don't always have to be, you don't have to feel like you're always having to be a hero and performing and going out there all the time. It would be really nice to actually just kick back a little bit and receive something that would have the hallmarks of stability, wholesomeness, integrity, because you're willing to offer that. It's just that things are not lined up right now. It's almost like a lot of this is very, very distracting, but you don't have a choice except to deal with it. In other words, it's almost like you've put yourself in the water. It's deep currents, there's riptides, and now you got to deal with it. You can't just say, oh, I want out now. Please send in a swift rescue boat and a helicopter to take me out of this. No, you have to do this yourself, because deep down it looks to me like what you really want is a little bit less froth and excitement and let's say dynamic pressures to achieve and perform, and instead have a little bit of stability where it's almost like, you know what, I wish this party was over so we could kind of go home. I will take care of you and you take care of me. I'll take care of you and you take care of me. Like a mutual exchange where you can actually enjoy being together. Let's have a look at deep inside of the other. Okay. Well, with the Magician here, it looks to me as though they are coming from a place where they would actually like to, this is going to sound really weird, almost like be like you when you're on form. It's almost like it's great, like they're on the side, like being your greatest fan and everything, and you're out there putting your life at risk, doing whatever you have to do, being as courageous as you can be, knowing that you've already created this momentum for yourself and you can't stop it. So you're on the hook now for being this uh, epic performer who's got to, you got to come back to shore and actually be alive and get there in order to enjoy the chance to come back to earth again and walk on land. Okay. And so you know what happens like in sports events and stuff, the people who are like the real fans often like wish that they were you. They wish that they were the hero. They wish that they could play basketball like you, surf like you, swim like you, achieve like you, win like you, and be like you. And that's what I'm sensing here is like they're turned on this. Like you are a turn on for them, and they in their inspirational posture here, they're a turn on for you, but it's almost like it's too much here for you. It's just like, jeepers, I want to just come down to earth. I just want a stable, balanced, loving relationship where we can cherish each other, okay? And deep down, it's just like they're not hearing the message. It's just like they're still in the throes of something. Like they might be really enamored with you. They might be really kind of like your super number one fan, and they're almost like investing their power in you. Like, you know how fans do that? They can really boost the star, so to speak, because they're pumping that energy in here. There's a lot of power here. There's a lot of the energy of the magician. The question is here, what do we do with that energy? Where are you going to direct all these resources and gifts and talents? Because they're all there, they're all available. And this is really wonderful energy to have on your side, Gemini. And I'm happy for them that they are like this, but it looks like there's a sense of desire here that they wish they had in some ways, the courage that you have and the ability to go right up to the edge and have the courage to handle it, because they would rather just be like over here being the fan. But what you want is an actual relationship. In other words, it's going to sound really silly. I don't know why I felt this, but it's almost like they're a groupie of you. And you don't want a groupie. You want a real, loving, wholesome relationship. It's wonderful to have a groupie who's just totally all over you and everything like that. But what really counts long term, the things that really count is the value. Okay? What's really going on here? What are you actually bringing to the relationship? What are you actually bringing to the relationship? What's actually happening at the core of the relationship, as opposed to the froth and the excitement and the drama and the fun? I see that there's a lot of fun here. I feel that there's potentially a lot of fun. So anyway, let's have a look at the core. Let's have a look at this. Okay. Wow. Okay, more wands. This is exciting enough where maybe there's a proposal here on the table. Maybe it's literally like that groupie energy, that hero energy, like you're the hero. It was a grueling, tough battle. You did all these amazing, courageous things to get through your life, stay on top of your life. And you have all these markings and qualities of a hero who really went for it against all odds. That's a huge turn on, to the point where they're almost saying like, I dig this so much. Let's get engaged. It's almost like one of those celebrity hookup stories, the front cover of a magazine. Like, let's do this because I'm so enamored of you and you're so awesome. And so it turns into kind of like one of those, I'm not saying a shotgun wedding, but almost like one of those relationships that take on a momentum, a life of their own because of the sheer energy and the froth that's all built up. So that's exciting. It's encouraging in ways. But again, I'm questioning where's the love here. We have to be very, very careful. I mean, it's very exciting to share your passions with each other. But if you deep inside, Gemini, you want something a little more stable and less exciting, then that has to be acknowledged, because there's to me, there's quite a disparity here between you at the soul level and what's going on with them at the soul level and the day-to-day level. Even though you've got this, I mean, it's like, this is something to celebrate for sure. It's great that you have so much in common that you can celebrate to the point where you want to, let's say, make it public. Like, we are a thing now. Like, even if you're a couple that have been around together for a while, maybe you're going through a phase now where there's a bit of life and spark and excitement, where it's like, you know what? It's almost like the energy, like, we haven't done something awesome in a while. Let's go out to dinner and celebrate our relationship. And you're like, okay, well, that's at least something towards where I need to go, where I want to be with us. And they're like, do you remember the amazing things that we did or that you did? And you're like, yeah, so let's just check the menu. I just want to have a nice quiet evening. And so there's like this, to me, it feels like a weird disparity between the two of you guys. It's good. It's just one of those relationship dynamics moments where it's kind of an oddball situation. That's simple. You can blame it on the planets if you want. And there's layers, like what's happening on the surface is very different from what's happening deep down below. That's what I'm sensing here. But the relationship still has the fun and the excitement of the spark to be like this. We're a couple. We're still a couple, and we're going to be a couple. Thank you very much. And we're going to go out to dinner to celebrate. Thank you. In fact, let's invite some of our friends. In fact, let's all go out to dinner with our friends who are also excited to be happy couples themselves, like a couples night out kind of thing. Let's have a look. Momentum. Yay! And that breeds happiness. Very, very simple stuff here. Again, this is really nice. It's fun. It's exciting. It's thrilling. It makes a lot of sense. It's like party energy from what I feel. Like, it's party time for Gemini in the context of a loving relationship. And fun breeds fun. Love breeds love. Joy breeds joy. Winning breeds winning. Success breeds success. Inspiration breeds happiness. Facing down the odds and winning is very, very inspiring, and it's a big turn on to others. It's empowering for them. They can feel empowered because they're hooked up with you, and the whole thing breeds passion and excitement, and that's very fulfilling for everybody. So even though you might be deep down in your soul thinking, I don't need all this excitement. I don't need all this fun all the time, 24/7. I wouldn't mind just staying home on the weekend and just, watching my shows and whatever it is that I do. And I'll take care of you and you take care of me. I really would love to be on the receiving end of evidence of love as opposed to all the show that goes with it. And I'm happy to provide the evidence. I'll give you a massage. I'll cook dinner for you. We don't have to do all this big, amazing stuff. But they don't get that yet. They don't understand that yet. But don't ruin the party just because you're feeling like this right now deep inside of the soul. Just revel in the sun, the light, and the joy of this thing, and worry about this stuff later, okay? Cancer energy is coming up soon at the end of the month, and that's your second house of value and values. So this might become much more prominent towards the end of the month with these pentacles here. What is it that you really value? What is it that they really value in the context of this fun relationship? All right? So let's have a look. I'll just put this over here on the side. I really don't want to say too much more here because I think I'll spoil it. So I'm going to leave it at that. And please make the best of it, Gemini. I'm sure you will. It looks like you really are doing a super job of handling some exciting but thrilling, but also perhaps some very precarious conditions right now. So please be careful. Understand that you are totally protected here. You've got the sun here. You've got the Four of Wands here. It's an indication that there's a lot of good that's going on here, and the intentions are really good. The investment in there, the power is there. So they're like feeding into this. But also don't lose sight of what really counts for you. What is it that you really want? And come into that chapter another day, another time, perhaps in the July readings. We'll see. Okay. Thank you so much, Gemini, for visiting, and we'll take it from there next time. Bye bye. All the best.